Good morning, everybody. My name is Aline Noizet, and I'm a Digital Health Connector. I'm very happy to be here with you this morning to discuss how we can unlock the value of digital health. I'm here today with Chandra, Chief Health Officer for the European markets at AXA Group. Welcome, Somesh. And with Pascual, co-founder and CEO of Medictor. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you.
So first of all, Somesh will share a presentation about the platform, the healthcare platform they've been developing together with Microsoft and AXA. And Christian will join us later to discuss how Medictor collaborated on that platform. Somesh, all yours.
Thank you, Elena. So today I'm going to talk about how we are going to unlock value from digital health. And I will cover this topic in three parts. The first part, I will talk about the current health context. In the second part, we will talk about the rise of the digital health ecosystems. And finally, talk a little bit about AXA's approach in working with partners like Medictor. So first, let's talk about the health expenditure and how it has outpaced economic growth, which is raising sustainability concerns. So if you look at the medical inflation in the past 5 years, from 2014 to 2019, it has grown by 8%. During the same time, the global GDP has grown by 1 to 2%, which is raising concern for sustainability. Now, on the right side, when we look at the healthcare expenditure sources, 71% of the healthcare expenditure today is funded by public sources, whereas 29% is being funded by private sources. And if we just look at the out-of-pocket expenses, 20% of the private source expenditure is from out-of-pocket expenses. Now, this is a cause of serious concern because, especially in times like this during the pandemic, the affordability of healthcare is significantly going to get hampered because the out-of-pocket expense is expected to grow higher and higher for getting faster access to care. Now, if we just look at the silver lining of this and see how the digital health services have grown, the digital health services are expected to grow by 21.8% CAGR from 2020 to 2030. And the adoption of digital health services are only supposed to accelerate the COVID-19, the outcome of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, 46% of the consumers have started using digital health services in 2020 compared to 11% in 2019, which is great news for all of us. Now, not only will digital health services help us to reduce the cost of care, but also it will help us improve three things. One, providing personalized and tailored healthcare solutions. It will also help us to improve the access and quality of care. And finally, of course, as I said, it's going to reduce the healthcare expenditure. However, there's an important point to keep in mind that based on the survey that was done by different agencies, 91% of the consumers have said that they would be willing to use digital health services provided the cost is covered either by the employer or by the insurance provider. So we still have questions about consumers willing to pay for digital health services. Now, if we go to the third part around, as I mentioned, AXA's ambition, and AXA really has the ambition to be at the heart of the healthcare ecosystem to meet the needs of the consumers in the new normal world. Now, if we look at AXA, we are present across the globe, specifically in Europe, where we have our largest businesses. We have a lot of health services today, be it teleconsultation, providing reimbursement for our medical bills, orientation to network, well-being solution. All of these solutions are currently available to our customers at AXA. However, one of the problems of these digital services are that they are generally fragmented and they are in silos, which creates a lot of complexity for the consumers or for the users of these services. What we have really started to do now is, in collaboration with Microsoft, we are creating the digital health platform, which is meant to be an ecosystem that connects different pieces together. It has three key features in the platform. The first one is around orchestration. What we really want to do is that we want to make sure that all our consumers come into the platform, and that's the single place where all their health needs would be addressed. So it's not, the complexity is not on the consumer side, but actually one single place for them to go and take care of all their health needs. The second part, which is also very important, is the interconnection of these services. So when we think about an health insurance customer who's been reimbursed for all the medical bills, is also using teleconsultation and well-being and prevention solutions, the interconnection today is not very clear. And this is a big problem with the industry in general, that different services operate in silos. And what we want to do from the second layer, which is the services layer, is connect all these different solutions together. And this is where our partnership with Medictor comes to play, because currently our self-assessment tool is provided by Medictor, and that allows us to be able to start a smooth journey with the customers. But also as we move along from self-assessment to telemedicine to drug delivery, the information flows seamlessly across different services. And finally, the third part is around having an intelligent, personalized layer using AI technologies that allows these solutions to be personalized to the customer's context. And these three are the core components of the digital health platform that we are trying to create. Now, if I give you a concrete example of what we are doing, in Italy and also in Germany, where we have gone live very recently, if we take a customer called Sarah, who is having a day-to-day problem, let's say as a stomach pain. Now today, in most cases, most customers would go into Google and type their conditions and try to find a solution. Now that, in many cases, will never give a personalized outcome, which then starts to create more confusion for the customers. So our intent is that Sarah comes to our health portal, which is the one place where she can go for all her health needs. And once that is done, she is presented with a self-assessment tool, which is the Medictor tool. Now, Sarah, through this tool, gets a better understanding of her condition so that she can take the right decision for her going forward. And the next step for that is that she would be able to go and search for a healthcare facility to be able to identify if she needs to go to a doctor. Now, that's an option that Sarah has. But the real benefit of this whole integrated platform is that then Sarah can actually log in either as an insurance customer or a services customer to then decide the various options that she's got. Based on the symptom checker assessment, she could then decide to have a teleconsultation with a doctor real time, and all the information from the Medictor symptom checker flows seamlessly to the teleconsultation doctor. Or Sarah might want to visit a particular doctor, and she can book an appointment through our concierge service and visit the doctor, which will be available through the portal itself. There's also an option for getting home services and all various other services, which is getting added to the platform as we move along. And that then creates a seamless journey for Sarah, when she's not only going to one place, but also she's able to decide what is best for her based on the assessment that was done through the Medictor tool, providing her a clear direction of her health condition. Now, let's look at a demo of what has gone live, which then gives a clear indication of how we want to create an integrated journey for our customers using the digital health platform and our collaboration with Medictor.
Thank you so much for that great presentation. I think it was really great to see the product of that collaboration between AXA and Microsoft, and how companies like Medictor can actually fit in and bring value, right? So I would like I would like to start the conversation now by asking you, Somesh, like, what are the challenges that your clients are facing?
Yeah, that's a good question, Aline. So I think there are four key customer pain points that we see from our experience, and it does vary a little bit based on the market context, but the core problems are very similar. The first one is on affordability. As I said, the medical inflation and the GDP growth are currently not in sync, which is causing an affordability issue, which is only expected to go up. Just to give you a sense, 28% of the lowest income group of people are giving up care, which is quite concerning. The second one, as I mentioned, was around the isolated health services. Currently, we have quite a few digital solutions, but they really need to come together. Based on the study from Deloitte, there are 500,000 medical technologies available out there, but what we need to do is integrate them together and make the best use of it. And the third one, which is basically the lack of efficiency and quality, we still operate in a very fee-for-service environment. And what we really need to start thinking about is about outcome and the quality, which is quite subjective and sometimes not measured. Finally, when we think about the current situation of the pandemic, there are long-term impacts where people are either delaying care or avoiding care. But the bigger concerns that we have are around mental health and how it can have long-lasting effects that we are seeing. So overall, I think there are these conditions that we believe are big concerns for the consumers today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Somesh. Christian, so Somesh just showed us like how they're integrating Medictor into their platform. So can you tell us more about how can you from Medictor help AXA's customers, like Sarah, for instance, or even AXA itself, the insurance companies?
Well, thank you, Aline. No, I think that Somesh explained it very well. I mean, we substitute Dr. Google. 7 out of 10 people Google their symptoms before taking any decision of what to do when their first symptoms are raised. And that's not reliable. So what we provide, it's a reliable and a scalable solution to guide patients to the right level of care. So it's an AI triage that you can rely to guide you to the best next service available into the AXA portfolio of services in this case. But we can do this integration to any client wishing to guide their patients to the right level of care.
Okay, fantastic. So Christian, you were talking now about scalability. So Mesh, how can digital solution scale globally when you take into consideration that each market are like specific regulation, right, for each country?
Yeah, so I think the customer needs are quite similar across the world. A back pain is pretty similar in any part of the world. However, there is a certain cultural, regulatory, and social context to every country. Now, what we really try to do is work in a global model, as we call it, which means our technology and tools are global, but our solutions and services are implemented locally, keeping in mind the local needs and regulations. So if I give you an example with the Medictor solution that we have implemented, AXA is using Medictor in Italy and Germany, and potentially in other European countries as well, as we're working together with them now. And we intend of creating awareness and better education on health conditions through the Medictor tool. However, the local implementation of Medictor, including the languages, and are very specific to the markets that we're operating in.
Fantastic. And Christian, what about Medictor? I believe you're in different countries. How was the scalability, and is it available in different languages at the moment?
Yes, we solve an unsolved problem in the world. So we have demand from our services in many countries. In fact, we had really increased the number of countries that we work since the last year because of the pandemic and the demand of telemedicine services. And now we are present in 26 countries, which is quite a lot. And we serve our services in 13 languages, which can cover most of the population of the world.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a bit more about the value proposition of Medictor and what makes it unique?
Well, as I said before, we guide patients to the right level of care, and that provides a lot of value, not only for the patient that it has the anxiety of the symptoms that want to have a guidance, but also to the health system, to the insurance company that want to provide an efficient next step to this patient. And I think that the uniqueness on Medictor relies basically in the clinical validation. We are the only clinically validated symptom checker in the world that has provided clinical trials with real patients, not with vignettes. And that's something to build this trust. There's a lot of work invested. And I would also highlight our natural language processing engine, which is huge, has 35,000 synonyms of symptoms in 13 languages, and can manage with typos, and so allows the patient to communicate in a natural way. To start this conversation with a lot of symptoms in the first sentence, just like it would do with their physician.
And that's a very important point. So Somesh, I'm curious to know a bit more about the collaboration between Microsoft and AXA that was announced a few weeks ago. Can you tell us how it is fitting into AXA strategic plans?
Sure. So, the announcement of that we're building a digital health care platform, enabling virtual healthcare that is open to all, along with Microsoft, is going to be quite a game changer. So if we think about DHP, as we call it, the digital health platform, it's an important part of our strategy and ambition to move from peer to partner. And what we're really doing is taking a very business-driven and a pragmatic approach. So it's not creating a platform just for the sake of creating a platform, but actually we are creating a business-driven and a very customer-centric platform. The links are to the digital health services offered by AXA to support our customers at every stage of their e-health experience, providing a seamless digital with human touch experience. So that's the core, that we want it to be seamless, personalized, digital, but still with a human touch. We have started successful pilots in Germany and in Italy in 2020 already. It is live in these two countries now, and we are currently working with other European countries like Spain, Belgium, UK, and Switzerland. What does it really mean concretely? For example, in Italy, we are trying to help customers with their day-to-day needs, also, which means providing relevant services like the symptom checker from Medictor, like teleconsultation, home care, concierge services, and so on, which you saw earlier. So overall, the intent is to provide an integrated end-to-end solution using this platform, which is going to be open, that collaborates with partners like, for example, Medictor, and so that we can provide one-stop shop solution for all our health needs.
And Christian, can you tell us more about the role of Medictor in that DHP platform?
Well, first of all, we are excited to be part of this great project. I think that it's great that AXA has really made this bet in digital health, and I think it's great for AXA members to have all these services available. So our role is simple. I mean, we are devoted to be the best symptom checking tool in the world. That's our mission. So we just want to provide the best services in this specific niche of the value proposition. So we try to be easy to integrate, and we work closely with our clients to fine-tune to their needs or to their specific concerns. So this is our role, just to provide with the best symptom checking part of the value proposition.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I think that now I would like to open the floor for questions from the audience to ask to Somesh and Christian. Perfect. So before we go to the questions, I will start with one additional question for Christian.
Germany had slightly differences that we have been able to fine tune to better align with their objectives. So the demo that you have seen, that's a chatbot interface in Germany. We are using a full screen interaction. So this is one example of the ways that we can adapt and align the implementation to each of our clients. And in this case, there's a lot of similarities. Of course, we are talking about an integration that has the same basis, but we have the ability to fine tune and align with the objective.
Perfect, fantastic. So now I have one question for Somesh. One of the pillars you mentioned in your presentation is prevention. How important is prevention for insurance, like AXA company?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So I think the AXA's ambition to be a partner of our customers throughout their health journey is quite clear, which includes keeping customers healthy, helping them with their day-to-day needs, and supporting them when they are seriously ill or even with a day-to-day medical condition. From our perspective, healthy customers create a win-win situation for the insurer, of course, by reducing the claims, but also for the customers to live a healthy life, but also for the society. And we have all seen how much of pressure on the medical systems come up in general when in pandemics like this. So, from what we have seen, 40% of our customers, their overall health depends on their lifestyle and behaviors. And that's why prevention is really important, and it helps our customers to live a healthy life on a day-to-day level, which is also an important pillar of the DHP that we're talking about. So things like better education through the Medicare symptom checker solution that we have, things like guiding them to the right place at the right time, all of these are very important in our overall journey that we are looking at.
Perfect. Now we have a question for Christian. What does Medictor do to validate and improve its clinical accuracy?
Well, we have a deep concern in being a clinically validated tool and to prove our accuracy with clinical trials. So we have a full team led by Oscar. He's a physician, the co-founder of the company, and he's leading all the clinical team that not only looks for better improvement of the machine on everyday's work, as everyday work, to keep on improving, but also to do external validation. And that not only it's a proof of the accuracy that we keep on doing. We have performed already 6 clinical trials. We have 2 more ongoing right now. We try to do clinical trials to prove different aspects to better enrich the functionalities in these different specialties of medicine. And that help us working with physicians to better improve the machine. And this is one of our main pillars to being clinically validated and to keep on improving the machine every day.
Okay. Now we have a question for Somesh. So we talked about implementation before. Now it's more for you, Somesh. So what are the next challenges and future plans for the Digital Health platform implementation?
Well, that's a good question. I think certainly the future looks very exciting, but also we cannot deny that it's challenging. And I think one of the most important challenges that we are watching out very carefully is the right balance in the global model, as we say. How can we be global, but still very much be local? Of course, a medical condition is a medical condition across the globe. So a back pain remains a back pain anywhere in the world, but the social and cultural context is very different. And I think for us to make sure that we are not only, of course, compliant to the local regulations, but also understand the customer needs in a way that is very local is very important. So that's one of the top challenges I would say that we have to keep in mind. We are working very actively on that, but we have to be very mindful that health is a very personal and emotional topic, and it needs to be taken care of. Exactly. In terms of our plans in general, so in European markets, as I said, we started pilots in Germany and Italy in 2020. And we're already live today. In 2021, we want to scale up these pilots and reach scale, which is very important in both in Italy and Germany. But at the same time, what we want to do is in other European countries like UK, Belgium, Spain, and Switzerland, we want to start doing these pilots. And this pilots allows us to better connect with our customers, understand their needs. And next year, we want to ramp up with these countries as well. So we're taking a very pragmatic, customer-centric approach, pilots to understand customer needs, adapt to the local conditions using a global platform, and then scale up and then onboard new countries. So that's the rhythm that we'll follow, not only within Europe, but across the board within AXA, and of course, bring in new partners as we move along.
Well, that's fantastic news. So the next question for both of you. So COVID accelerated the use of digital health tools, like we've seen that now both from the healthcare professionals and the patients. And the question is, like, first, like for Medictor, how have you seen the change of adoption in the Medictor app? And then Somesh, in your case, like feedback you received from users of the platform. Who wants to start?
Please, Somesh.
Sure. Okay. Happy to. So, one thing is for sure that this pandemic has forced us to think in ways which we wouldn't have thought in the past. So that's for sure. Now, the question is, from our overall experience, what we have seen is that the use of digital tools has increased to almost 45-50% compared to last year. So we were looking at around 11% use of digital tools in 2019. And this year we're talking about 50%, which is great news. But I think at some point of time, we will start to see this stabilize as things become normal. In terms of our use case with Medictor that we have launched right now, I think we are very happy because for us, there were 3 parameters. The first one is how many customers are really active. And we have almost, I would say, 200,000 customers who have been active on the platform since we had launched it. And what is more encouraging is that we have almost, I would say, 2,600 active users per day. So it's not just that we have volumes in spike, but we have a consistent volume that we're getting in. Also, one of our core parameters is to see, because the BHP's value proposition is to be integrated. So if somebody has taken a symptom checker assessment from Medictor, how can we pass this on to a doctor visit or to a teleconsultation is core for us. And what we are seeing is around 70% of our customers are doing that, which is a great testimony that people really value integration, because we are not by default sharing any information unless the customer explicitly agrees to it. And 70% is a great number to be with. The overall satisfaction is 4.3 on 5. And you can imagine that in a digital world with so many digital tools, that's a great place to start. So we're very happy. And we are assuming that, with all our new services that we're bringing in, consumers will be able to really meet their needs of what they have on the day-to-day basis.
Fantastic. Christian?
I think, of course, we have seen huge raise of use of any telemedicine tool. And now we are reaching a new scale after COVID. We had some levels before COVID, a huge peak, and now we are reaching a new scale, which is much higher than before, 30 times, I don't know, a lot. But I like very much what Somesh talked about, the integration, because I think it's a key element. I mean, Medictor by itself, it's good, it's nice, but it makes sense really when it's fully integrated into the healthcare delivery. And I love what you are building up, because it's like this. It's fully integrated and provides a full digital experience for the patient. And I think that's the way to how digital health should be placed in the world. So, yeah, I think that's remarkable.
Exactly. Well, we've come to the end of the session. Unfortunately, that was really very, very interesting. Last word from both of you. Christian, where can people find information about Medictor? How can they get in touch if they want to collaborate with you?
Well, you can access medictor.com and you can find contact forms there, or just email us at info@medictor.com.
Okay. So same for you if people want more information about the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is, as I said, this is one of the core strategic initiatives of AXA. So a lot of this information is available on axa.com. And also we will be providing regular updates of how we are progressing, not only on the specific use cases, but on the overall strategy as well. So watch out for all the news at axa.com and our press releases.
Perfect. Well, thank you both so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christian, for that time. Thank you, Giant, for hosting that session, and wishing you all a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.